What is going on, guys? And welcome to the brand new podcast that we got going on here. It's no longer Words Spoken with Venom. It is the Venom and Wolf podcast. You guys know me. I am Venom Gaming. Been here for a little bit. Time for a little bit of a change. I can't completely do this on my own anymore. So I brought in my lovely, beautiful co host, the sexy, drop dead gorgeous Anthony the Wolf. Anthony, how are you, man?
I'm good. Yourself?
I am absolutely exhausted. We got kids here.
Fair enough.
So, Anthony, viewers know who I am, but they don't know you.
Mwah.
So, give us a little bit of a rundown on yourself, man.
Well, long story short, I've been watching hockey since 2007. I'm mainly a gamer, but I used to play football. Had to quit due to surgeries, unfortunately, and well, I just like gaming and card games because I'm a nerd.
Only card game I play is Rummy or poker anymore.
I meant like trading card games.
I know what you meant, but I'm just saying.
You're like, I only play Rummy. What the heck?
This guy's okay. I officially brought a nerd onto the show.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're not the first nerd. We've brought Thrash in before.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
That's the only real nerd I've ever actually. Nothing wrong with nerds, though. But guys, this is brand new. We're doing something a little bit different. We are actually changing things up. We got some more focused ideas and what we want to do with this podcast, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Now, you guys see me, I'm decked out in my wing stuff. Our main thing today is a wing season preview.
Go Wings!
Yes. We've done a lot of moves this year. A lot more than I was expecting. Steve Eisman's been really busy once again. Was that surprising to you how busy Steve Eisman was?
To a certain extent, not really, but just because there was I heard a bunch of rumors, and he wanted to do kind of a sped up rebuild to a certain extent. But yeah, he's done a little more moves than I thought he would do.
Well, one of the surprising moves was I thought we were going to lose someone like Jonathan Berggren instead of losing Kubalik, especially in that DeBrincat trade.
Definitely.
Adding an elite scorer like that, and not saying that Kubalik could not be an elite scorer for us, isn't saying Kubalik had a great season, especially for what he was brought in for. Kubalik had what was it, like 24 goals?
22 or 24.
I believe it was 24.
I'm checking right now just to double check.
I didn't think to bring up his stats for some reason. I did not write them down either.
He had 20 goals, 25 assists in 81 games.
45 points for a player that is worth not that much. Like, honestly, his salary was so good.
Yeah, I think we were paying him like $2.5 million.
It was around $2.5 million.
Yep. Looks like $2.5 million according to Elite Prospects.
They can still consider him a prospect? I thought he was like 29.
Well, no, that's the website.
Elite
Prospects.com.
It was a
no, joke. I know. But no, everyone's a prospect according to them. Wayne Gretzky's a prospect still to them.
Man, I might be a prospect then. Where's my money?
Where's my money?
Where's my money? I should be a prospect too.
I would die.
The sad thing was that we didn't bring back Adam Ernie. We didn't bring back we let Sundqvist go in a trade to the Minnesota Wild. Philip Hronek is gone. We made
the Hronek trade was a little sad to me. That one did make me a little sad.
He was having a great season too. Then he had that shoulder injury from when he ran into or wasn't paying attention to Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, that's somebody you got to watch out for. He's a big boy.
The thing here's another crazy thing. This team used to be left-handed heavy.
True.
We brought in JT Comfer, Tim Gettinger, uh, Daniel Sprong, and Kayla Yamamoto, all right-handed players.
Kyler Yamamoto doesn't play for us though anymore. He was bought out.
That is true. Why am I thinking? Why is he still on the roster on this? Huh. Interesting. Uh,
W-
we brought in Petrie, who's right-handed. We brought in Hall, who is right-handed. And the thing is, right-handed
Right.
players are premiums.
Right. Definitely a little more balanced on lefty and righty.
The problem I have is that we brought in JT Comfer at 5.1 million through 2028.
Yeah, it's kind of an overpayment.
It's an
Not
over.
kind of it.
He's gonna be a second line player at most.
Right.
I don't see him moving up to that first line like he was last year, playing second line, first line with McKinnon and Rantanen.
Yeah, I feel like his numbers were boosted because of McKinnon and Rantanen.
And you got someone like Dylan Larkin who's playing our top line center. He had great numbers last year. He had a total of let's see here. He had
77 points off the top of my
70
head.
79 points in 80 games. So
79.
he was nearly a point per game, 32 goals, 47 assists, -7.
Uh, yeah. A lot of players are going to be minus for the Red Wings for at least a little while longer, in my opinion.
That's the thing. Like Dylan Larkin's doing that without star players around him. He has had an aging David Perron on that first line with him. He had Lucas Raymond, who was having a sophomore slump.
Definitely.
You got so many. You have talent here on this team, young talent, and that's where we have the old guard and the new guard trying to mesh well together. Like you had David Perron last year meshing in with Dylan Larkin right off the bat. But you got someone like Lucas Raymond who was pretty much an afterthought from I shouldn't call him an afterthought the season prior. They just didn't have tape on him to know how to defend him.
Right.
So now you have someone like Alex DeBrincat coming in. That's definitely changed the dynamic, and I think we're going to see Dylan Larkin being a point per game now.
Oh, definitely. I'm super excited to see ADB on the Red Wings right now. If I,
Now,
if I recall correctly, he was born and raised in Michigan, right?
Farmington Hills.
Farmington Hills, so downstate, yeah.
Because I know he moved. If I'm thinking the right player here, he moved quite a bit. He is from Farmington Hills, Michigan. Last season he had 66 points, 27 goals, 39 assists. So he was more of a playmaker last year than he was an actual sniper that he's billed
Sniper.
at. Uh, Here's the thing with him, like he has a buddy that's just recovering right now as we speak about old guard and new guard meshing well together. Patrick Kane. What are your thoughts on this little rumor that's now being kicked up into, oh my God, we're getting Patrick Kane?
It's one of those ones where I'm up in the air about. Because Patrick Kane as a player, he's amazing. However, I also the only reason I don't fully want him to be signed is because he's going to take up a spot of one of our younger players who needs to take that jump to the NHL level.
Well,
So I'm kind of back and forth on the Kane rumors.
and here's my honest opinion. I feel like we're going to move somebody out to make this happen.
Right.
Uh, right now, our right wing situation, or our just our situation with right wingers. Uh, Alex DeBrincat, JT Comfer, Prawn jumps back and forth. Raymond jumps back and forth. Daniel Sprong's a right winger. So is Christian Fisher. I got a feeling someone's going to get moved out when it comes to the actual team.
Right, I could see us trying to. I'd say Fisher probably could get back a tad more than Sprong.
Well, how about
Not
someone
a
like
lot
Robbie
more.
Fabry?
Oh, yeah, he could be moved too, unfortunately. And I love Fabry.
I love Fabry, but he's had too many ACL injuries where he's just unreliable.
Not as explosive.
He's not an explosive, but he's also unreliable. Like we can't
Right.
guarantee he's going to be there. We can't guarantee any player, but there's more of a likeliness that we're not going to have him. That's a scary thing to see.
Right.
He's making $4 million for the next 2 years. We can carry some of that cap, trade him somewhere, carry it, and be gone. And not saying be gone and like I don't care about this dude.
Just have him move on to a better place for him.
I think
Have him have.
he just you're going to be paying $4 million for a bottom pairing winger, pretty much.
Yeah, like he would be on our third line. Third line, if I can speak.
Because I look at it right now. If let's say we add Patrick Kane to this team, it would be
First line would be Larkin, Kane, and ADB.
Yep. Second line would be Raymond, Cop, or Comfer. Comfer and Cop can be interchangeable, I feel.
Don't forget, JT can play the wing as well.
They can be interchangeable, but also I'm looking at it
Yeah.
this way: stat wise, Cop has better face offs, but you're not going to have a guy sitting on your uh, third line. You got these three players should be. I think this would be a good second line. It's not an actual NHL second line, but Cop, JT, and David Perron could be a good second line group. But interchange either Cop or Comfer with Raymond, so he's back on that second line.
Right.
I feel like dropping him Raymond any lower than second line would be kind of a mistake for his development.
Especially since we spent a first round, sixth pick overall on him. Is he sixth? No, I'm thinking Mo Sider. Mo
Uh,
Sider was sixth.
Mort Sider was 6. Raymond
Raymond
was a
was
4th.
top fourth.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I was mixing him and Sider up a bit.
Well, so was 6 overall pick. Philip Zadina's gone.
True.
We traded his contract.
Again, yeah, and the worst part is we could have had Quinn Hughes.
Oh God. Oh
Yep.
my God. Mort Sider and Quinn Hughes, right-handed, left-handed. Talk
Oh
about
god, that would be dead. The worst part is when I saw Quinn Hughes drop that far on that, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pick Hughes, and then they called Zadina. I'm like, huh?
But here's the issue: who was our GM?
That wasn't Yzerman's tenure, was it?
No, that was Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of mistakes. That actually ties into what we'll be talking about later. Like the Tampa Bay Steve took advantage
Tampa
of Ken
Bay
Holland.
Steve. Yeah.
That first round pick we took to get Quincy, try to keep our playoff run going, end up being Vasilevsky.
Oh god.
Think of that when we get to that point later.
Oh god.
Like I said, we have a lot of things, but going back to the main topic here is moving Fabry out would be a perfect way of opening up about 2 to 4 million, depending on if someone takes him. We may have to pay out maybe a fifth or hell, let's give somebody we'll take our St. Louis Blues 7th round pick for 2025, Fabry, and package it together and get like maybe a third out of him to replace a third that we're losing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or not the third that we're losing, the fourth that we're losing.
Yeah, we could get like a third or a fourth, depending on when they trade him and how well he's playing.
Yeah.
Because if he's playing well, we could definitely get a third out of him.
We might even get more out of him, but at the same time, like, I think we just got to see a little bit how he's doing. But we have 22 rostered players right now. We have one more we can fit on our roster without sending somebody down. We have
Question is that going to be Kane or is it going to be Michael Rasmussen?
Rasmussen is not a two-way contract anymore. He's getting 1.46.
Right.
But if anybody's gonna be moved down, it might be Jared McIsaac. He's gonna be our 7th defenseman or 8th defenseman.
Yeah, I was going to say, hold on, 8. I'm
We
counting
have
8
8
there.
defensemen. So we can move him down. He's on a two-way contract, a cheap two-way contract that we can move willingly.
Right.
That gives us an extra wing spot. So now we run with 7 defensemen on the roster, letting Sherratt and Petrie trade back and forth on who plays. And actually giving these guys some actual rest this year instead of playing broke.
Right. Got to give somebody some rest sometime.
Then, as I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, we got some good trade pieces here. We got Shane Gostisbehere, who's on a 1-year deal at 4.1 mil. That's a great trade bait right there.
Even if we might have to retain a little bit of his salary, it's still going to be good trade bait.
It's just we have 3 retention spots available. Or
right.
We have 2.
2.
We are holding on to Jacob Verana's salary for 1 year.
Right.
We trade away Shane Gostisbehere. We might be able to get a second or a first out of him, a late first, depending on who it's from.
I don't see a first for him, honestly. I'd see a second or a third.
Well, it depends on how he plays. He just came from Arizona for 2 seasons, pretty much, where it was terrible for him. He started bouncing back a little bit when he hit Carolina. What can you say? Like, he did do terrible when he was with Carolina.
No, 10 points in 23 games. Definitely very respectable.
You can't. That's for a defenseman.
Right.
10 points in 23 games for a defenseman. That's almost a half point per game.
If you think about it, he didn't even play that bad for Arizona either.
No,
he had 51 points his first season with them in 82 games, and then 31 points in 52 games. I mean, those are respectable numbers for a D-man.
Oh, most certainly. He I just the only thing that's negative about him is his minus 23 from the 21-22 season.
Right, but that's, I mean, let's be real. I'm pretty sure that season all of Arizona was negative.
Yeah.
That team was awful. I love the Coyotes, but they were not a good team. Now they're, a little better.
That's like 41 points or 31 points in 52 games. Then he had another 10. He had a great season overall. 41 points
in 75 games.
Yeah, that's great for a defenseman that's gone from playing on a team to being just crap. Now, playoff stat wise, he's not a real playoff performer really. 3 points in 15 games.
I mean, even for a D-man, that's not terrible. I mean, it's not ideal either, but it's not terrible.
But career-wise, playoffs, he's got 8 points in 32 playoffs.
In 32 games.
Yeah.
Which you'd want a little more than 8 points, maybe like 10 to 12.
We got him on a reasonably it's called a crappy team tax. Pretty much, we're paying more than what we
Right.
should actually be paying for a person.
Right.
But that's good. Cut his out. We retain 50%. We're retaining until July
Yeah.
1st.
We gotta remember though, he does have a modified no trade clause too.
It's a 10-team no trade clause.
Was it? Yeah, 10
It's just
team.
10-team.
Oh, okay.
Most of our defensemen have a 10-team no trade clause, except for Mo. But I don't think we'll be moving Mo.
Oh, heck no.
I wouldn't be surprised
Unless
if we
we're
get
getting
moves
a
on him.
unless we're getting like something insane, there's no way we're moving Mo.
What do you think we're gonna get from Mo? How much do you think it's gonna cost to retain his services for the next? He's gonna get an 8-year deal, probably.
Probably like if he has a slide this season, which let's be real, I could happen, might not happen. He might if he slides this season, he might get like a 6 by 3 years, like a little bridge deal. But if he sticks to what he's been doing, I could see like an 8-year deal at 7.5 or 8.
So one thing that is rumored right now, and this is not about the Red Wings. Darlene, have you heard what his possible contract extension is going to be?
Actually, no, I've not.
8 by 10.5.
Holy crap.
Now, Darlene had a great season last year. He kind of people were worried about how he played defensively, but dude's actually picked up and fixed himself quite a bit. And that's with the cap going up by $9 million over the next 2 years. It sounds like. Last season he had 73 points in 78 games,
Pure insanity, really.
plus 12.
Jeesh.
Now we look at Mort Sider, who had a little bit of a sophomore slump. He had 8 points less than he did the year before. 5 goals, 37 assists, but he also started out playing with Ben Sherratt. Once he started playing with Jake Wallman, it was a completely different story. His point totals went way up. I could see him getting an 8 by 9, 8 by 9.5.
Yeah, I could see that, and especially since he's right-handed as well.
Yeah. Now here's my thing. We talked about trading Shane Gostisbehere as trade bait. We send him away. Simon Evanson finally comes back up. He'll play limited minutes, but you know what that means?
Experience.
But also, if you look at some of these contracts, Shane's ends this year. Jeff Petrie comes up the next year. Now, Jeff Petrie might be a healthy scratch. Now we have a Linder coming up. I think their plan is to bring a prospect up or a Griffin up once per year to actually start making a young defensive core around Sider, Evanson, Wallinder, Sandin Palika, and maybe Johansson as well, because Johansson's been doing well. I don't know how much you know about Johansson or Wallinder.
I know a little bit about him, not a lot. I definitely do need to kind of re-up myself with some of our younger prospects.
But all these guys are in the up and up. Are all of them going to hit? No. We're going to probably still need some veteran defense core, but I think we're going to be going towards a younger defensive core in the long run.
Right. From what I've heard with Johansson, I feel like he could be a bottom pair D-man.
And that's great.
Not like to start off, I should say. I could see him maybe getting that middle pair, but I feel like his safe floor or safe ceiling is bottom pairing D-man and his floor could be like a top 2 AHL at worst, or a 7th D man, I guess technically.
So I'm looking at a lot of these contracts right now. Would you like to hear how much depth we have to our prospect pool?
Sure.
Nate Danielson.
Oh yeah, he was just drafted.
Just
He's going
drafted.
to be fun.
Marco Casper.
Drafted 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
and already made his NHL debut after being drafted that summer prior.
Right.
Carter Mazer, Elmer Soderblom, Cross Hannes, Amadeus Lombardi.
Which is just a cool sounding name.
But here's the thing. All these guys are projected to actually make the team in the next 3 to 4 years.
Right.
Most of these contracts from a lot of these players are gone in 3
They
to 4
expired.
years.
Right.
This is going to be a team that's within their window with Dylan Larkin leading the way. Mort Seider. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. I burped into the microphone. Ooh, that was a spicy one. You got Ben Sherratt that's gone. Shane Gosper that'll be gone. Justin Hall probably wrapping up his contract. You got Mort Seider who's going to be leading the defensive front with Simon Evanson and probably Wallinder and Zandine Palika. This team is going to be young.
Right, which there's nothing wrong with that, especially if they can get some experience before then.
Here is our defensive core in the future. William Wallinder, Simon Evanson, Antti Tomasito, Albert Johansson, and I don't really think that Borgren's kind of a veteran defensive presence down there, and that AHL just helped out these younger guys. New Power, I don't see him making it unless he just has a Michael Bunting season.
You're talking about Wyatt Newpower, right?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yep, Wyatt New Power.
Okay.
He's 25. You got Sebastian Cossa, who's 20, who's going to be playing most likely in Grand Rapids all season.
He definitely needs another year or two, in my opinion, before making the big league.
This year, he'll play his backup behind Alex Lyon. And then next year, once Reimer's out, Lyon might move up for just the season and let Sebastian Cossa take the lead down in Grand Rapids, and then maybe another year at most. But if he's not up on the NHL roster by 23, 24, we might have some issues with our first round pick.
Right.
But goalies...
That's the thing about goalies, is they're hit or... They're hard to predict. I mean, look at Dustin Wolf. He was a... what was he, 7th round for Philly, if I recall?
I believe...
I know he was a 7th round pick, because I was looking into him a little bit. Calgary.
I was about to say Calgary. Wolf is still on their AHL roster too.
Yeah, but he's already played one game for the Flames, and he
was
played lights out.
14th overall.
Yeah.
7th round.
Like, I had him pegged that his draft season as like a 4th rounder. So when he was dropping, I was actually quite shocked, because his stats in the for the silver tips in the WHL were really good. I mean, he was never under a 928 for the silver tips, which is crazy.
We did.
I'm excluding playoffs, by the way.
We did pick up a goalie in the draft this year. I think we picked up 2 goalies.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't. Who are they? Why am I blanking? Oh my gosh, what was his name?
Trey Augustine.
Thank you.
We also got a Rudy Goldman in the 6th round, but Trey Augustine, they're hoping that he turns into a better version of Sebastian Cossa.
Right. Was he 2nd rounder, right?
He was 2nd round 41st pick overall. That's where we had those 3 picks back to back to back,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
which I thought was absolutely nuts. Then we end up trading one of those picks, I believe, with Nashville. I'm actually looking at some of these. We have a bunch of these guys. Wow, we have a lot of players that are that we've picked up. So I'm looking at this. We only have one first rounder that has not signed a contract yet with us, and we got a bunch of seconds that haven't signed with us yet.
Right.
Noah and Liam Dower Nilsson. They're drafted 2 years apart. They have
Are
not
they
signed.
related?
They're brothers.
Oh, cool.
But that's actually not too bad. So we've hit the players that have been moved in and out of this team. We've hit the salary cap and the future moves. We've already talked about our little rumor that we have. We got the young guard and old guard. Is there any? What do you think this team's going to do? Like, what do you think their final point standing is going to be
Like
without Patrick Kane?
without Kane, let's see, they were 35, 37, and 10 last season, which is 80 points. Quick math,
Yes,
right?
80 points.
I could see them without Patrick Kane this season. I could see them maybe getting 90, 95 points. If we had Kane, I could see them making the playoffs, honestly. I know that's saying a lot, but I could see it happening.
Well, at 90 points, they would not make the playoffs if it was last year.
Right.
Because actually, I take that. Yeah, 90 points. No, 92 was the lowest point total that made it in.
Right.
Buffalo missed by a point, and so did Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We would have to leapfrog at least Ottawa, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Florida, and or New York to make it in, and that's a lot of teams that already have a pretty established team.
Right. I could honestly see it happening though. Kane would be a big, if fully healthy, he is a big difference maker. Even if he isn't 100%, he's still gonna do well for us if signed. But yeah, I could see us making the playoffs with him. If not, it would be like one of those bridge ones. Like they could, but they probably won't type deal.
So my thought is that without Patrick Kane, we're at 86 points for the season. A little bit better, but not a lot better. We're showing progress towards we're moving forward.
Right.
With Patrick Kane, I think we only pick up another 4 to 6 points, so about 92 points at most, which still would put us tied with Florida from last year and 1 point behind New York Islanders. But
Fair.
the only thing that's going to be a toss-up is if New York Rangers and Boston recover. Rangers lost Tarasenko and Patrick Kane.
Boston lost Bergeron to retirement.
Krejci
To retirement.
Orlov to free agency. Bertuzzi to free agency.
Who did Bertuzzi sign with?
Toronto.
Yes, exactly what Toronto needs, another forward.
They needed someone that could play scummy.
I mean, yeah.
You don't have that.
Still.
Austin Matthews doesn't play dirty.
Right.
And I'm not saying we need dirty players in the league. I'm not saying that they are dirty players. But these guys just don't have like that
A
fiery
little bit of
side.
grit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they needed that extra grit, so they brought in.
I'm looking at you, Brad Marchand.
Uh, you look at the team last season. They didn't have Max Domi. They didn't have Tyler Bertuzzi. They didn't have Ryan Reeves. Wayne Simmons is gone. He barely played. Uh, these guys just didn't have that extra little grit to the team that would get them through a playoffs. They got the crap beaten out of them. The crap beaten out
Yeah.
of them again when they went against Florida.
Florida just played with more edge because they had Kachuk. Kachuk plays with an edge, let's be real.
They had Bennett.
He's Sam Bennett, yeah.
These guys were hard hitters.
Yeah, they were not worried about throwing the body.
All right. So we both have a kind of like similar view of where this team could possibly be at the end of this season.
Right. I could definitely see him being like maybe a wild card spot with Kane, if not gonna be kind of on that bubble type deal.
I could see this team getting closer, way closer than they have been in years. I
In the
don't
last
think this is the
3-4
year.
years?
Yeah. I think that we need at least, and I'm not saying Patrick Kane is not a superstar scorer anymore. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's able to facilitate a superstar scoring ability that he has in the past.
That's fair.
So, with that being said, I think that we are one actual elite scorer away, and we actually need to have a strong second line because we have a great third line and a great fourth line that's a third line, pretty much.
Right.
So, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future.
Yeah. Honestly, and I'm looking at some of these prospects though for like coming up NHL drafts. I feel like if we don't have a top 5 pick, there's just too much variety with them.
I believe the term is called magic beans, as Steve Dangle likes to say.
Fair enough.
That's what draft picks are after what? Top 15 anymore? Magic beans, except
Like
this last draft.
that's fair.
This last draft is an anomaly. This coming
Yeah.
up draft after top 15, I feel like it's going to maybe even top 10 this year, depending on how the draft works or who's in the draft. It could just be magic beans. Like, hey, I'm going to blindfold myself and throw darts at a dartboard. I hope to God I don't hit you on my way through.
Fair enough.
Just my perspective. I think it's a hilarious perspective. And thinking thinking of dartboard, one final thing. I'm hoping we hit the mark on these draft picks. I feel like Sandine Palika was perfect.
Oh yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised he dropped that much.
If Steve
Well,
Eisman has
quote
his
unquote
eye on
that much.
somebody, no one wants to mess with that. I think most people are scared of him in the league, anyways. You got any final thoughts before we move on and try to find a way to segue to our next topic?
Not a whole lot. Just that I'm expecting this season to be quite fun to watch the Red Wings. I'm excited to watch them.
Well, I'm hoping we just don't drop the ball like most NFL teams do, especially like the Cowboys and things like that.
And the Vikings.
And the Vikings. Oh my God! Now you are technically our lead person when it comes to the NFL because me, honestly, I'm just an NCAA fan. I don't get big into the NFL. I do the fantasy stuff every once in a while. Uh, We're in the fantasy league this year for football, aren't we?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, but
yes we are. We drafted. The draft was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, I
which
believe.
I never got a notification for that it started. That's the funny thing.
I really, I thought I sent you a message.
You
Did I
sent me a
not?
message saying when it was, and I was
Oh,
looking for the reminder because I had it set in the app to remind me 15 minutes before it started.
it never gave it
It
to you.
never gave it to me, so I ended up missing it because I was playing something. I think I was actually playing the new Madden,
Ooh,
and I looked down, I was like, "Oh my god, it's midnight, and I'm already missed the draft."
oh no.
Crap! 'Cause I
I
looked,
mean, and I was looking at your auto drafted squad. It's not awful,
it's not
but
great
you
though.
need another quarterback
Yeah,
because they were in a super flex league.
yeah. Trust me, I'm working on that. I
Yeah.
I got 2 NHL drafts and one more Madden or NFL draft to do. But since we're now on the fumbling of teams, what is going on in the NFL this season that we need to know about?
Well, one is currently there's up in the air for tomorrow, which is September 8th. That's going to be a post. Travis Kelsey's dealing with a hyperextended knee, so there's a chance he might not play tomorrow night against the Lions.
Interesting.
That's one of the major injuries going around. Cooper Kupp has been ruled out for this weekend, which is another pretty big injury. He's got a hamstring issue. I mean, Kyler Murray of Arizona's out at least the first 4 weeks due to still rehabbing his ACL. There's talks that uh, Arizona Cardinals are going to not bring him back this season because they're quote unquote tanking
Oh,
because they've been getting rid of a lot of their better players. Their hope is for Caleb Williams of I believe USC. I think Williams is USC.
Williams.
But he's projected to be the first overall. Yep, USC. He's projected to be the first overall pick. So people are thinking they're tanking for him. The issue is Murray's contract. At this point in time, you just can't move that. There's no way you can move that contract.
what's his contract at?
Uh, oh my God, I think there's like 5 years on it for 84 million. It's a really bad contract with his current going around for it. People are saying his work ethic is bad, which I'm not too sure because I'm not a Cardinal fan, but I try to keep up with everything since I'm in about three or four fantasy leagues, so I try to keep up with the news. But yeah, it's not a good contract for right now. No team is going to want to trade for it unless they get paid for it.
And that's the thing.
Uh,
Like, how? There's
Go
probably
ahead.
not a lot of. There's probably not a lot of teams that would willingly take on a crap ton of money, especially like, isn't it like what kind of cap is it? It's not an actual uh hard cap, is it, or is it a what kind of cap does the NFL have?
I actually do not know. I did not ever really look into salary caps a lot. Uh, but it does rise every so often, I believe.
Well, they bring in so much money.
Right. It's definitely a rising cap. I know that much.
I actually pulled it up if it wants to load. There we go. Oh my god. It's 224.8 million.
Yeah. They got a lot of money they can use over there opposed to the NHL.
It is there's like 48 people on the roster for the main roster, isn't it?
53.
53.
53.
Oh yeah, because they got to cut down to 53 before they start out with like a 65-man roster for preseason.
Sometimes more. Sometimes more.
That is absolutely ridiculous. The thing is, like the NHL has 50-man roster technically
Right.
between NHL and AHL, and that's not actually including what they have for players that are playing in the ECHL.
Right.
I'm That's absolutely ridiculous. Wow,
Yeah.
my mind's blown now. Now, what is like the broad view of the entire NFL this year? What do you think is going to happen in each division, and who's going to come out on top?
Well, for the AFC East, which is Buffalo, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots, I'm gonna say the Patriots aren't going to do well this season. They just don't have enough weapons on offense. Patriots fans are gonna come after me for that one, I bet. I have the Bills winning the division again. And the Jets, they traded for the Packers Rogers, they signed a bunch of sorry, not the Jets, the New York Packers, as people call them now. Because they
Oh
signed
my
so much of the
god.
Packers players this season. Uh it's between them and the Dolphins for second place in that division, honestly. I like the Dolphins. They got a good team. If Tua can stay healthy, I have them taking second place and the Jets taking third. That division, just in general, is really good now. So weird to say after so many years of dominance from the Patriots and lack thereof from the other teams.
Now, the one I'm actually interested in hearing your opinion on, what are the Cleveland Browns going to do?
Totally not Bengals bias here because they're my AFC squad, but the Browns, if Deshaun Watson, massage parlor Deshaun Watson, if he can go back to his Houston time play, they could theoretically win that division.
So you actually
If
possibly have
Watson,
Cleveland Browns winning the division if players can get back to form.
yeah. So right now, the rankings for me is the Bengals and the Ravens are like the top two right now. I'm going to say the Ravens are a little bit better than the Bengals at this point in time, depending how the season plays out, of course. But if, of course, going into this, if teams stay healthy, which unfortunately doesn't happen, but I would have it the Ravens in first place there, then the Bengals. The Browns are third, but if Watson goes back to his Houston Texans form, I'll have them winning, and then move the Ravens down a spot as well as the Bengals. And then I have the Steelers. They're gonna go at least 5,500 this season. They got Tomlin as the coach. He can pull out wins out of his ass. He's a good coach.
Uh,
So that division is going to be crazy as well.
Pittsburgh, I can actually see him being the bottom of that easily.
Yeah, I can too. But like again, I can't see Pittsburgh going worse than 8-9 this season because they got Tomlin as their coach. He's a great coach.
Well, sometimes a team needs more than just a coach. He needs players that are willing to
Right.
actually fight through it. But that it remains to be seen. We got our first game today on the 7th.
Oh yeah, today's Thursday. I was thinking today was Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Thursday, man. I go back to work tomorrow.
Jesus.
Don't tease me with something great.
Sorry, my bad, my bad. Okay, so going back to the Kelsey, he might not play tonight.
AFC South. That is just a clusterfuck. I'm just gonna say it's a
Yeah,
clusterfuck.
Jaguars are winning that division.
After that, it's just a crapshoot. Who's gonna do worse?
Titans are going to be second. They at least have experience. They're going to be second. I got the Texans third just because I consider C.J. Stroud to be a little better than Anthony Richardson at this point in time. Richardson does have the higher ceiling. And then the Colts are going to be last.
I'm
that division.
sorry, my Indiana brethren, the people I went to high school with, I have no faith in the Colts anymore.
I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, I agree. At this right now, they got a bright future, but right now it's very bleak for this current season.
I am going to actually predict what you're going to actually pick for the AFC West here.
Okay.
I'm going to say that you're going to have Kansas City first,
Yep.
Vegas second, Los Angeles third, and Denver fourth. And I have
No.
really, because
No.
I feel like Las Vegas Raiders, now being fully in Vegas, fully committed, are going to be the new Vegas Golden Knights.
Fair. Nope. This season I have, of course, the Chiefs at 1. I got the Chargers 2. I got Denver 3. Just because I think Sean Payton is going to be able to bring back Wilson from whatever the heck he was last season. And then I got the Raiders 4th, only because I have no faith in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
That, and they got rid of Waller.
All right, I can respect that.
I just never thought Garoppolo was that great. Even when he went to the 49ers and everybody was like, oh my god. I'm like, you guys are crazy. The Niners are defense built. Garoppolo ain't gonna do shit with them.
All right, now we have the NFC. And starting off the
Let's
NFC
start off with the
East,
East.
I have this is for me. I have Philadelphia taking it.
Yep.
Dallas second. Washington third, and Giants fourth.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely have the Eagles winning it. That team is just crazy. I guess we could call them the. What's the joke with them right now? George Delphia Bull Eagle. I don't know.
Clue.
There's a joke between the Georgia Bulldogs and Philadelphia right now. It's funny. I like it. It makes sense. But of course the Eagles are 1. I'm gonna have. Actually, I'm probably gonna have the Giants 2nd. I feel like Daniel Jones is gonna have that leap this season,
So
especially with Jalen Hyatt.
I can see them changing positions with Washington, but
yeah, I have. You're gonna hate me for this one, but I have Washington 3rd,
okay.
which means I have the Cowboys last.
You don't think the Cowboys
right now
are taking a step back, or do you think they're just stagnant?
They're stagnant right now. That's the thing. I know the Cowboys signed Brandon Cooks this offseason, but I really just I don't know, man. If Dak plays like he did last season, my dogs have made an appearance. But anyway, the Cowboys with Dak right now. I feel like his confidence has been shot from between his injury and just the way he played last season.
Well,
right, so I have them.
I'm not
going
putting my
last.
faith in Dak. I'm putting my faith in the defense for Dallas.
That's fair. Their defense did outperform last season.
Their defense outperformed. The thing is, their defense got tired because their offense wouldn't do the work for them.
Yeah.
Now that they even bolstered the defense more.
Yeah.
I don't know why Jerry Jones does not go for more offensive players, but beggars can't be choosers right now. We just get what we get. But I remember Dallas was in on Diggs at one point.
Right.
So that's the last bit of real news I heard. And then we also traded for a younger quarterback between us and the 49ers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot they're the ones that got Trey Lance.
So maybe if Dak has a rough start to the season, Dak gets benched.
I think right now they have Lance as their 3rd QB. I think they have Cooper Rush, I think his name is. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I think they have him as their 2nd on their depth chart right now.
Perfect record still.
Yep. Yeah, but that's my. But I'm gonna say the the ceiling, of course, with the Cowboys is going to be the playoffs. Their floor, I have them winning 6 still.
Hmm.
So I mean, that division is going to be crazy as well. And that like some of these divisions are just like toss ups. Like it's insane. Now going to the NFC North.
Detroit.
My Packers.
No.
My Packers.
Detroit.
No. Listen. I'm not putting the Packers at 1. I'm not. My Packers have been king of the NFC North for a while. I'm going to start from the bottom and go up.
Oh.
I have Chicago in 4th right now.
Reasonable.
I know they've added pieces. They are taking a step. They lost David Montgomery to the free agency to the Lions. But I don't think Justin Fields takes the leap quite yet. He's still going to do good, but I don't think he takes the full-on leap yet. I think he needs one more season. 3rd place, I got the Packers. Only because I love Justin. Why was I thinking Justin Fields? Anyway, I love Jordan Love. No pun intended. But I have not seen enough from him to think that they could be top 2 yet. They got Aaron Jones still. They got A.J. Dillon. They're going to lean heavily on the run. This is currently a passing league. That is why I have Packers 3rd place. Because they're going to be run heavy. 2nd place. The Vikings. Justin Jefferson. Do I need to say more? That guy is a game breaker. 1st place, I got the Lions. They're just a good team. Their team is playing for their head coach. You got a mixture of Goff going back to form, a head coach who knows what he's doing and has the team buying into him. The Lions, I'm going to say, are going to win that division. However, I would not be surprised if the Vikings win either.
So I hated one of the things that the Lions did because the guy was starting to pop off. And I think you know who I'm going to mention. TJ Hawkinson.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
biggest.
Yep.
I know they're worried about the financials when it came to him. But if Detroit would have kept him, I think they are a solid number 1. No question asked. But with the Vikings having him now,
yep.
It puts into question between who's going to be 1 and 2. I think Detroit edges out the Lions. Or Detroit Lions edge out the Vikings. Holy shit. Detroit edges out the Vikings just a little bit, but it would be a complete blowout for me if they would have kept just Hawkinson.
Yeah. That's why I put Lions first as well. They have a little bit more. I have more faith in the Lions than I do the Vikings. Only because the Vikings, they got rid of Dalvin Cook. I really feel like they should not have done that. I have not enough faith for Madison to be their number 1. That's just my 2 cents on that.
Now we have the NFC South, which I feel like these last two is just like, why even bother?
I'll just go through them fast.
I
NFC
like
South.
Just throw a dartboard for this one, almost like
for NFC South. Saints 1, Falcons 2, Panthers 3, Buccaneers 4.
Yeah, I just
these
teams just don't have any depth anymore.
Yeah,
they're
Panthers are on the come up though with CJ Stroud. No, Bryce Young. Sorry, CJ Stroud went to Houston. Bryce Young, they're on the come up. Falcons are kind of on the come up. The Saints right now have the best roster. Buccaneers, I'm just not high on them this season. That's about it.
They're in rehab.
Yeah.
They were going through Brady withdrawals.
Yep. NFC West. I got to be fair, the NFC West has 3 decent teams and then the Cardinals.
I remember when the Cardinals would be just killers a few years ago. Now it's just like
Yeah. Yep. So I have. I'm going to start from the bottom because it's Cardinals. Third place. Honestly, I'm going to give it to the Rams. Uh, Stafford, I'm a little worried about his
I don't think he has much left in
throwing
his
shoulder.
tank.
No, that and they lost. They've lost so many pieces. I don't think they're going to do well enough. Seattle second, and the Niners first. The Niners only because of their defense is I have them as the best defense this season. They are not going to allow that many points.
I can agree with that. I can actually agree with that. I was going to put San Francisco first. I would have had Seattle third. And Arizona, surprisingly enough, they may not be the powerhouse they were, but I feel like they can have a bounce back year and play second. Rams, dead last.
That's fair. The thing with the Cardinals, though, is they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, too. That's why I have them dead last. If they had Hopkins, he's enough of a game breaker to have him third. But the Rams still have Cooper Kupp. When he's healthy, he's a game breaker. Enough to be able to put them back to third.
I just feel like Stafford does not have it anymore. He's hurt that arm so many times now. I think it's just one hit away from being just shattered.
Yeah, that's fair. But like I said, I think the Rams defense is a little better than the Cards defense. That's why I have the Cards in last.
Oh.
Because there's this guy whose name is Aaron Donald.
I know who he is. I know who
no,
he
I
is.
know.
Don't do that.
I know.
I believe you had him last year on your team, and I just got completely wrecked.
What?
Wasn't he on your team last year?
Aaron Donald? No.
Why am I thinking of?
He's a defensive player. I didn't have it. We didn't have individual defensive players.
No, I meant like, oh, you had somebody on your team that just completely wrecked me last year in fantasy. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
That's what it was. I traded Diggs to you. And then you wrecked me with him. Well, I at least got a first round pick out of
it. Yeah. Good.
But
no. Yeah,
thinking of getting wrecked. I just noticed that UFC 5 official reveal trailer came out 1 hour ago.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm just seeing some like the graphics that I'm seeing it. It looks like they brought back you remember UFC Undisputed 3 where you had the cuts and everything that could stop fights?
Right.
I'm looking at some of the graphics, it looks that way again.
Oof.
Oh man. I think that's gonna be one of our talking points for the next one. But IGN's already done something on it too. It's a 2-minute trailer. Oh, this looks gross. Oh. I'm gonna have to watch this once we're done.
I'm gonna kind of skip through it really quick here. Okay, if these are in-game images, like those graphics are insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that a little bit later. I want to actually watch and see the details of that. But we did say we wanted to hit some game topics, and we're just touching a little bit of base on the NFL. NFL will be a big talking point for next week, especially for our next episode. I shouldn't say next week. We don't have anything set in stone yet.
Right.
I want to get through the first maybe game or two of the season, so we can hit the NFL again, and then we're gonna add college football as well.
Ooh!
I'm actually more excited for the college football part.
That's fair. I do like college football, just because I look forward to who plays in the NFL and what teams too.
But here's our game. Here's our big topic for our game talk. NCAA football comes back next summer.
Yes.
That is there is
Yes.
license. There's 140 plus teams that have signed the agreements to be a part of it.
Yep. I'm so excited. Actually, right now, I'm playing a blast from the past. NCAA Football 2005. I've been playing that a lot because unfortunately, it's the only NCAA game I have right now
I used
that
to
I
have
can play.
NCAA 2013.
Yeah,
That
I
was the
used
last
to
one
have
they made.
14 was the last one. NCAA Football 14 was the final one because it had oh my god, who was it? He played for Michigan. Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name?
I have no clue. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been so long. It was like,
Nate
was it
Robinson?
Denard Robinson? I want to say it was Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson, yeah. No, but we got college
Yep,
football
Denard
coming back
Robinson.
next year. I'm excited. This is
I
actually
am
making me excited for a
hyped.
sports game.
Yeah, I am super excited about it.
Besides UFC 5 reveal trailer that just came out today, we should be
Yeah.
getting a reveal trailer probably in the next 6 or 7 months for NCAA. But you got a feeling that the sports gaming genre is making some waves again?
To a certain extent, yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna say this now. I feel like if another, excuse me, another company comes into the NHL series, then we're back. Or I should say football. Another company in football as well, because the 2K used to make football as well.
Yes, they did.
Was
They
it?
also did
Isn't there a
hockey.
rumor about like an arcade style football coming from them? I think
It
I heard a
might be
rumor
like
about that.
Blitz,
Yeah,
but
because
it's going to be interesting because we've had so many reiterations of NFL Blitz, but the
right
NFL could have a licensing. I don't know what the licensing agreement is between the NFL and EA.
simulation.
Is it
That's the only one. That's why other companies can make arcade style games.
okay? So maybe we'll get an arcade style game again,
Yeah,
but
I
it's going
think
to
there
have to
was
feel
rumors
like
from
Blitz.
2K about that. I really think there was something. I thought I read something, but it could be one of those Mandela effects where I thought I read something and it wasn't.
But here's the thing:
Uh,
EA, I feel like is going to do way better than 2K is.
yeah, it's because they have you got. In all honesty, it's because of the Madden name.
I feel like 2K is really like dropped the ball with NBA. I don't want to play. I don't play it anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
They have WWE, which is probably going to end up outgrossing the NBA here in the next few years.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Uh,
NBA 2K has definitely gone downhill. Pardon me. The last few years. Excuse me.
EA, UFC 5, you got NCAA, which if they do it right, and when the new Madden comes out, you're able to tie it in like they used to be able to do.
If they bring that back, yeah, where you're
It'd
allowed to import your drafts and whatnot.
be absolutely amazing.
If
NHL,
they
new devs, completely new devs that we've heard multiple times from our mutual acquaintance.
Yep, and some others have brought it
Some
up as
others.
well.
I feel like EA is revitalizing the sports world again for the gaming
Yeah.
genre.
Will it be good? That's yet to be seen, in all fairness.
Now here's the thing: we have a boxing game that's both that I've been seeing a lot recently. It has not made console yet, but it's getting closer. And
Oh?
I think it's popping up on YouTube a few times recently. It's not fully released. I think it's mainly through Steam early play.
Oh, early access.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've seen what you know what I'm talking
I
about.
think I know what you're talking about, but I might be wrong on it. Uh just because I don't really go on Steam library or Steam store a lot anymore right now. Just because I've been saving up money for other stuff.
Undisputed Boxing.
Yep. I knew it was something with a U, I just couldn't remember the name.
and it is it's supposed to come out late 2023. So maybe in the next month or two. But the graphics are so unreal. They have, I'm looking through the names, or at least I'm at least seeing at least 60, 70 different fighters available. That is unreal.
Jeesh.
So I see nothing wrong with that, and it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with the future of that. But I feel like the sports gaming is becoming revitalized. We got another big game coming out, Spider-Man 2.
Yep. That's gonna be a huge one.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's going to break the PlayStation 5 completely.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are really excited for the game. Mind you, a lot of my like mutual friends don't get excited for the same games usually. This game, they're all in on it though, except for I believe one person, and that's only because he doesn't really uh play those kinds of games,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah. So another game that I've been looking at, and I'm actually excited for this for once, because I haven't been excited for one for years. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And they
Okay,
teased
yeah,
no Russian.
yeah, I did hear about that.
Now, Modern
Um,
Warfare 2, that was the most controversial thing that could possibly have happened.
yeah, but who can ever forget the one line? Remember, no Russian.
So
Changed everybody
it changed everybody, and it was a skippable mission.
because it was so controversial. Yeah,
Yes, and
they
violent
had
too.
to
Like there was
patch that. They
they
patched
patched
that
it.
in,
It
I
was
think,
patched like
post,
what?
right?
Not like about a month into the game.
Yeah, I think it was about a month or a month and a half. They patched it in to add content filter, if I
Yeah,
recall correctly.
but they patched it. It went away. You could play it. Didn't have to play it, but you're missing an important piece of the storyline.
Yeah,
Now, I think they're gonna have to do the same. They're not gonna patch it. It's just gonna already be in the game. Where hey, you don't have to play this, especially if we're.
yeah,
I feel like it is gonna be a remastered version of it.
right.
Not, I shouldn't say remastered, reimaged,
Reimagined.
reimagined.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too.
Another game that's on my radar that's more of a like a rumored, but there is a little cinematic trailer for it, like just a teaser for Square Enix. Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh,
Yeah, they've already pretty much announced that they're doing a 4. Now,
sweet.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that till 2026, though.
Oh, another game. I don't. I think it's pretty much on the really download. Not a lot of people know about it. But there is a indie developer making a Bionicle game.
Really?
Yes. I just go on and double check the name of it. Uh, where is it? Don't tell me it got taken down. Maybe it got
If we
taken
see
down?
stuff like that where we know we might get taken down, we'll just screen clip it.
Yeah. But no, I do know that an indie company is working on a Bionicle game. Yeah, it's called Masks of Power. And I watched the trailer with a couple of my buddies, and it doesn't look that bad. Looks very fun too. It is by Team Konohi.
Interesting.
So if you guys, I would recommend at least giving the trailer a watch. It's a 2.5 minute trailer.
All right,
For those
so put
wondering.
that trailer or send me the link to the trailer, and I'll make sure it gets into the
All right, here you are, my good man.
I got
But
it.
no, but no, I would definitely recommend watching it, especially if you remember at all growing up and playing with Bionicle or watching the TV series or whatnot. Give it a watch.
Well, I'll definitely give it a watch. Once we're done with this, I don't want to play audio that's copyrighted by mistake.
Right. There is copyright music in there. That
so,
I can tell you.
so there are images of an early build for Kingdom Hearts 4 already been showing, and it's
Why does
supposed.
that remind me of the GTA 6 leak that happened a while back?
No, this is actually sent out by. This is actually shown by Square Enix, not a leak.
Oh, okay, good.
They're actually pushing for a 2024 fall release date.
Really? Wow.
Well, it'll be 4 years since the third one came out. So I feel like that's more than enough time to get a game out, but they also took about 12 years to finish the third one.
True.
But one more game we're going to hit up, and I feel like this is going to be a game that I think all of us have been waiting on. At least I have. Uh, GTA 6.
Oh, I was like, wait, what? And then I'm like, wait, is it the one I just said?
Yes, it is. Perfect segue.
Woo!
Perfect. Woo!
Perfect, even though I didn't know. I'll take it.
Exactly. Uh, GTA 6, two characters, two playable characters. What the rumor is, even though we've seen the actual leaks. Uh, two playable characters, male, female, one Hispanic or Latino. Or is that the
I
political
think it's
correctness
Latino,
term?
yeah.
Okay, whatever. Try to be politically correct here so I don't offend. Uh, what are our thoughts on that? Like, do you think they're just teasing us way too much?
Honestly, I really don't know. I feel like there's a thing is this is I feel like this is going to be a really good one.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If the game's coming out, it's really good. It's really good. But if it's making us wait this long, then you have an announcement coming out, and you just announce, oh, Red Dead Redemption, not remastered, just a new port.
Right.
Kind of killed the vibe a little bit.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Uh, but I wonder what the online is going to be like. Because that's the only reason I think they're actually going to have to push this game out here soon because the online I think is almost dead.
I, for you're talking about GTA 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I some of my friends still play and says here and there, and they say it's not that dead. I mean, it's lost some luster, sure, but it's still not dead.
Well, I'm not meant like dead, but I feel like it's not creating enough money for them
Content.
anymore.
Yeah, I
People
got you. I know
people
what you
that
mean.
have they to bring people back, they're giving out 1 million a month, 1 million a month in actual in-game currency, which is $9 of money that people would spend to every online player on two consoles
Oh,
until the expanded and remastered version came out
gotcha.
for
Okay.
PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X. So you got millions of players that you're giving $9 to every month for about 6 months just to make the game viable again.
Right.
I feel like it's almost like a stopgap. A stopgap to kind of like, all right, well, we're going to give all this stuff out for free right now until we get this remastered one out. Hopefully, this remastered one gives them enough content until Hey, let's reveal 6. Guess what? Now you're back into playing 5 again. Just to
Right.
keep the familiarity.
Right.
Oh man. I don't know. Rockstar Games has just frustrated me over the last few years.
You're not the only one that's frustrated with them. I guarantee that much.
Uh it just it makes me want to drop the gloves with them, man.
That's fair.
But now that we're dropping the gloves, let's get to our last topic of the day. Uh who was the better GM? Steve Eisman for the Detroit Red Wings so far, or Steve Eisman for the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Do you want to start this off or should I?
I will let you go. I've been driving this bus long enough, I think, today.
That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. Man, honestly, both Eiserman for Tampa and Detroit has done amazing. But at this point in time, right now, I'm still gonna give it to Tampa, only because that team is still a Stanley Cup contender, and he left his excuse me, pardon me, he left his other the new GM. I'm blanking on his name right now. Left him with a superstar team he inherited. A crazy, crazy team.
The
So
GM
right
for the
now,
Tampa Bay Lightning is Julian. Oh Jesus Christ,
Brisbois?
Brisbois. Thank you. I'm horrible with pronouncing names.
No, you're good. I'm pretty sure that's the pronunciation for it, at least. But no, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tampa Bay, for right now, for the just because he inherited a Stanley Cup contender team. Can't really go wrong with that. But I'm gonna say this now: Detroit Eiserman GM will win it in the long run. I feel.
So I feel as though that Tampa Bay Steve is leaps and bounds further ahead and got a little extra help before he even got there
That's fair.
because he already had Steven Stamkos.
True.
He already had Victor Hedman. Uh, Nikita Kucherov, I believe.
Pooch was 20. I want to
11,
say it was a
sorry.
2014.
No,
Was he
2011.
11? How
2011.
old is Kucherov?
Kucherov is actually,
Oh, he's
uh,
30 years old. Holy
yeah,
crap.
he's my age.
I thought, where the hell have I been?
No, he was drafted in the second
Second
round,
round.
58 overall. So it doesn't actually say who
Oh,
he was drafted by.
can we go back to general gaming topics for one brief second?
Yeah,
I
we
just
can.
got something for NHL 24. It
Okay.
looks like people are worried about puck egging, right?
Yes.
Looks like NHL 24 has a delay of game for that. They
Who?
added a delay of game penalty for puck egging
Twitter
in
or
their
just
defensive zone. Twitter, Eric Eki specifically sent that out about an hour and a half ago, and one of my buddies shared the post with me. So I wonder if that's going to be in the offensive zone too. I am
uh
all for that. Thank you, EA. Yeah, sorry, one of my
I'm
buddies
actually looking at the video
just
right now.
gave that to me.
That
Yeah,
actually
I skipped through it a little bit, but yeah, thank God. That's all I gotta say. Thank God.
wow.
Yeah,
Interesting. That is definitely something that
that's
is
a big
needed.
W. That's a big
Wow.
W. All right. Sorry about that.
No, 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 no.
That was just kind of breaking news for us while talking.
Uh,
So going back to Eisman between Detroit and Tampa.
I'm trying. I am looking. Trying to see if with who the GM was at the time that drafted him.
Uh, Good question. Brian Lawton? No, he stopped in 2010. Brian Lawton was from October 2008 to April 2010. And then Tom Curvers took over for about a month. And then, no, Steve Eiserman's was their GM from May 25th, 2010 to September 11th,
Oh,
2018.
all right. Okay, I gotta say it then. Uh, I should have had this researched out a little bit better.
Same. No, you're okay. I should have too.
Uh, I think Steve Eiserman of Tampa Bay has won this for the long term.
Long term, that's fair.
Uh, Having two already superstars, drafting two more superstars, three more
Yeah.
superstars, because you got
Point, Cooch,
he drafted White, Cooch, Point, brought in
Vassy. He drafted Vassy too.
yep, drafted Vassy. He stole Vassy from Detroit in a
Yeah.
fleecing of Kevin Holland. It's Sergachev he drafted.
No, he traded for Sergachev.
Oh, he traded from him. So I apologize. Uh,
Yeah, he was drafted by Montreal.
Drafted by Montreal, brought in trade history. Let's look at that. He sent Jonathan Drouin.
Yep. Was it? It was a 1-for-1 too, if I remember correctly, right?
It was a 1-for-1 with a draft pick for a draft pick. Uh,
This is. Oh, Montreal fans are gonna hate me for this one, but I really feel like the
they just got fleeced.
Montreal fans. Well, yeah, but I feel like Dren. The reason why they traded for him was because he's from Quebec. I feel
Jonathan.
like Montreal cannot stand any Russians right now. Like before the whole ordeal,
So
but
this trade happened in 2017, June 2017. So a year after Sergachev got traded or drafted, went to here's the trade. Jonathan Drouin at $5.5 million went to Montreal with a 2018 sixth round pick, which ended up being Cole Kopeka. Condition if Sergachev does not play 40 regular season or playoff games for the Lightning in the 17-18, then Montreal receives Tampa's sixth round pick. If he plays 40, non-draft picks are exchanged. No draft picks are exchanged. Okay, so he did play 40.
Okay.
But then we got a 28. Then they got Tampa got Sergachev in a 2018 second round pick. That belonged to Washington. I'm trying to that ever been up Oliver Rodriguez.
He's the goalie, right? If I remember correctly.
Let's see. He is a. Why am I spacing on this? Goaltender. Yep.
Yeah,
And he's
I thought I remember hearing
he's on
that.
Edmonton Oilers.
Oh God.
Drafted by Edmonton, so this pick's been around.
Yeah, seen its fair share.
Wow. Yeah, but he's 23 right now. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely interesting. But here's the thing. We go back. This is one of I'm looking for this. So I have to go back all the way to 2012 for this one.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Vasilevsky was drafted in 2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Really? It doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Oh, it's been a long time ago. In a
Huh.
galaxy far, far away almost.
Shut up.
Let's see.
Which-
Here, okay. So it was a three-way trade. I want to look at this one. Uh, from Tampa Bay going to Colorado, Steve Downey. From Colorado, Kyle Quincy. From Detroit to Tampa Bay, Sebastian Pitch, a 2012 first round draft pick, being Andre Vasilevsky, picked 19th overall. I think we can settle this debate right now that Steve Yzerman has to make a fleecing like that again, or a few more fleecings like that, to be at the same level that he was at in Tampa Bay.
And let's be real, he's fleeced 2 teams already.
He's fleeced a bunch of teams.
Yeah. I really feel like he fleeced Ottawa for ADB. I feel like we didn't give up a lot for him.
No, and I also feel like we got a crap ton more than what Hronek was worth.
That too,
We
yeah.
got a lot out of Bertuzzi.
Which
that's
that,
desperation.
yeah, that's pure desperation.
Can you count those as fleecings, or can you count them as desperate GMs doing desperate things?
It could go under both, to be fair.
Okay, I can see that. But we've wrapped that up, and here's the wrap up, man. Anthony, got anything else you want to add before we take off for this one? We've already been here for over an hour.
Yeah. But just wrapping up, thanks for having me. It was nice chatting with you.
And it's great having you here, man. Like having you as a co-host, and actually having a co-host makes this time go by a lot quicker.
Right.
Definitely got to figure out a better time to do this than a weekday. Possibly try to find every other weekend or something, so we're a little bit more relaxed and don't feel as rushed with
right.
the weekday plans.
Right.
That is the horrible feeling of having those weekday plans and just not being able to do anything about it.
Right.
Guys, that is it for this time. I am Venom. This is Anthony. We'll talk to you guys all again soon. Peace.